Okay, let's give you guys some practice. So here you've got a graph of y equals square root of x. I want you to somehow come up with the equation for this tangent line and come up with the equation for this normal line. So this is 90 degrees. Okay, so press pause and have a go. Okay, so let's tackle the tangent line first. So it's a straight line, so we know it's going to be able to form y equals mx plus c. So we need to find the gradient. Well, the gradient will be u differentiating this. So differentiating it. So we know that the tangent line will be in the form of y equals mx plus c. We need to know the gradient. So we need to differentiate this. So rewrite this as x to the power of half. And then when differentiate it, this half will come down, the x stays intact, the power gets minus by 1, so that becomes negative a half. So now you've got one block multiplying another block. So you've got one block multiplying another block. We don't understand what it means to have a power of a negative number. So we would jump to 1 over x to the power of half. So that would then take us to here. And then now it's just, now turn this power of a half is turn it back into square root. So now it's top times top, bottom times bottom. So when you differentiate it, dy by dx equals this thing here. So going back to here, we need to know the gradient at this particular point. So we would differentiate this. Differentiating it will then give us 1 over 2 root x. So what this means is we now have the ability to work out the gradient anywhere along here. Suppose you're here at b, then the gradient at this point here, the gradient at this point would be u putting b into here. So that would then be, the gradient at this point would be 1 over 2 root b. But because we want to know the gradient at this point, we will put a into here. So the gradient at this point will be 1 over 2 root a. So that will be the gradient at this particular point. So going back to here, we know it's going to be y equals mx plus c. We need to know the gradient. Well, the gradient will be us putting a. The gradient at a will be 1 over 2 root a. So so this will be the gradient at a. So we would put this into the gradient here. So that would then give us this. Okay, so from here, that would then take us to here. So now we need to work out c. We need to work out the intercept. We know the gradient. Well, going back to here, anytime you have a straight line, if you know the gradient and you know it passes one particular point, then you can come up with the equation of that straight line. Well, the location of this particular point will be a, the height will be root a. So the coordinates here will be a, root a. So this is your x. This here is your y. So hang on. So you want to know, you know the gradient, and you want to know the intercept. You know it passes one particular point, a, root a. So this is your x. This is your y. So now put this into the x. Put this into the y. That will then take you to here. So put a into the x. The x gets multiplied to the top. So that will then give you this. So that will then take us to here. So now it's just a matter of rearranging it to make c the subject. So use whichever method you want. So here you've got 3 blocks. Times all 3 blocks by 2 root a. So that will then give us this. Times this block by 2 root a. That will then give us this. Times this block by 2 root a. That will then give you this. Root a times root a. That would be this. So take away both sides by a. So that will then give us this thing here. Divide both sides by what? Now that you're here, divide both sides by 2 root a. That will then give us this. So now this thing here, tidy this up. So you've got a to the power of 1 over a to the power of a half. So you've got this thing here. So this is your half here. And then so it's this take away this. So this block becomes a to the power of a half. And then this thing here, well, this is square root of a, like this, and then it gets multiplied to the top. So that would be this. So C is actually root a over 2. root A over 2. So now you can put this into the C. That will then give us this. So our equation of the tangent line will be given by this, no matter where A is. So no matter where A is, it means that you can slide A back and forth, and then no matter where A is, it will draw the tangent line for you. Okay. So now in the next video we will look at the normal line. Okay.